apparently a lot of us here haven't gotten started with planning 2024 yet. Well, you're here. I've got 5 frameworks for you, so let's get started. If you're on my email list, you know that I do a 1-word annual review and 1 more word to set the direction for next year. It's really easy, really simple, 4 questions each. And if you want to know what it is, you can just join my email list below. But if you want to go more in depth, then this 5 framework approach is the right one for you. It takes 15 minutes and we will review, we will plan, and we will prioritize with 5 frameworks. Let me show you what I mean. Here is the general idea, and we've broken it down to review, plan, and prioritize. Let's start with review. So this will take 4 minutes. The idea with framework number 1, 80-20, is we want to review our wins. 80-20 in a nutshell means uneven distribution where not all of our efforts are made the same. There's 20% of our effort that leads to approximately 80% of our gains, and there are 80% of our efforts that actually just led to 20% of our gains. So if you want to work smart, if you want to use your time wisely, then you want to figure out which 20% of those efforts are. And with our review, what we want to do is in 2023 figure out of all your 2023 wins, which ones are the ones that contributed to 80% of your joy, your satisfaction? And we'll take 3 minutes to fill this out. I hit all my revenue goals for this year. I spent more time with my family while hitting those goals. And I got a puppy, something I've been wanting since I was a kid. So to me, these were the 20% of wins that got me 80% of the joy and satisfaction I'm looking for. Now with that, let's go to framework number 2, confirmation bias. And specifically here, we want conscious confirmation bias. Quick recap, confirmation bias is a cognitive bias that says we look for information that confirm what we already believe in. And as you can imagine, this can help us or go against us. Let's say I think I can never get better at being creative. Then every moment that I fail, I will say, yeah, see, right? I was never born to do this. I shouldn't try any of these creative things. Or if I have a growth mindset and thought I can always improve, then I will look for evidence of that. So we want to be conscious of what we are confirming. So let's get to the second question we ask ourselves, which is from the 80-20 wins. What's the one thing you leveled up on to get you those wins? Right? What is that one change in you that you were able to improve in order to get those wins, right? They're wins because they are difficult, they were a challenge we set for ourselves. And so let's take 1 minute to fill this out. For me, my one thing is persistence. Whether it was hitting that revenue goal, whether it was finding time to spend with family, or it's getting the puppy. I mean, I think that was a 10-year plus plan where I chipped away at the persuasion of my family members, and eventually, everyone was on board. Also, I persuaded myself. I wasn't really ready to take on that responsibility, but in the end, I persisted. I got to where I am. I leveled up in this. I never thought I was a persistent person, but this identity I'm going to bring forward with me to 2024. It's really served me well. So that was review. We did the 2 frameworks here. Then let's move to plan. For planning, we have a 5-minute exercise. And this is actually borrowed from the Passion Planner. It's funny, I was talking with a couple of friends who all mentioned they did Passion Planner's planning, which is this one I'm about to show you. And every single one of us have achieved many of our goals that were written on there, even though we didn't come back and look at it every single day, keeping those things in mind. Still, we tick them off. So I really wanted to share this with you. So the framework is inversion. And the idea is we're going to start with the person that we want to be and work backwards. So let me share with you the prompt. Let's work backwards. Who do you want to be in this lifetime, if anything were possible? In 3 years, in 1 year, in 3 months, and we'll take 5 minutes to fill this out. All right, here's mine. A lot of YouTube, a lot of family also want to continuously figure out what AI means, how it fits into my workflow of my life. The great thing about this inverted plan is, as I have confirmed with my friends, even though it is not statistically significant, but 100% of us have ticked off a lot of these things that we wrote down and haven't even actively followed up on. So give yourself that serendipity and see what happens. And let's move to prioritize. Framework number 4, the one thing. This, I'll be honest, focusing on the one thing is really difficult for me. I am multi-passionate. I am really scattered. You've seen my obsidian, right? I live for that chaos. And so saying I'm going to commit to one thing is really difficult. And I've struggled with this ever since I quit my job to start my own business. And I have to say, even though I keep on resisting it, there is definitely merit. So I really want to introduce framework number 4, the one thing. And what we're going to do is, first, out of all the wonderful goals and dreams that we've outlined in the planning phase, we are going to circle one for each of the categories. So one for 3 months, one for 1 year, one for 3 years, and one for a lifetime. The one that's going to make the most difference for us. We're going to take 1 minute to decide that. Then, out of the 4 things we've circled, we still have to decide on the one thing. It's so painful, but let's try to do this. Pick the one thing you want to focus on, such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary even. And to me, it's pretty clear. I need to be consistent with posting on YouTube. Let me write that down. This is the moment that I not regret, but feel a bit nervous because I'm committing in public, and that's why if I say I'm going to post consistently on YouTube, well, you're here to see that immediately. So I cannot break that promise to myself and to you. So that's my 2024. I'm going to get that up and running. With that decided, I've got a very clear goal for 2024. And let's go to framework number 5. So this one is about being smart. I'm sure a lot of you might have heard of this. It's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And we're going to use SMART tasks, not goals, tasks. I mentioned in my 2023 set system, not goal video about this. And we're going to do the 3+1. So we're going to start, continue, stop, and we're going to change one thing. The idea is that we want to just make this really easy, really actionable for ourselves, because all of the procrastination, it happens when we haven't broken down a big piece of task into something small and digestible and something we can start immediately. All right, so the first thing, what am I going to stop doing in order to achieve my goal of consistently posting on YouTube? So one, I'm going to stop. Those who especially work themselves, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, right? Yes, it would be great if I did it today, but even if I do it tomorrow, who's gonna tell me you can't? It's the curse of freedom. I used to be worse, but I've decided, the muscle memory I want to build is I am someone who says I'm going to do something to myself and I'm going to do it. That I respect myself and I'm going to say what I'm going to do. I do it for everyone else, so why not for myself? It's a really strange paradox. So yes, I'm going to stop pushing the deadline back. Now, let's go to continue. What am I going to continue doing? This one's an easy one. This is the best habit that I've built that changed my life. It's not an exaggeration. I talked about this a lot. Taking notes, Zettelkasten notes specifically on Obsidian, which I can make backlinks. This is really what's powering my output. So I'm going to continue doing that. And I'll do the Obsidian video for you as well. So that's that. Then what am I going to start doing? I realized with this video, actually, that if I had used the content calendar, I would have prepared for this a long time ago. I would have gotten it out earlier. You might have had more time with this video, so that's something I'm going to try to implement and see how it works for me. I usually don't use something like that just because I want the freedom, but I realize that it's almost an excuse at this point because having constraint actually makes creativity flow a lot better. So content calendar, I'm going to implement next year. The last thing, change. What's the one thing I'm going to change for myself so that I become the person who posts consistently on YouTube? The change I'm going to make, and I mentioned this last year as well, and I couldn't quite do it this year, so I am putting it back on my list again, which is to make videos that are me. Still, I'm trying to balance, oh, these type of content really do well on YouTube, so I should be putting them out, versus this is the one thing I really care about and I really want to share it with people. So I'm still leaning more towards how can I twist this so that it does well, but I'm going to experiment with this a little bit, show you more of me. I don't know, it sounds so scary to do that. But let me try it, I don't know what will happen until I try. And if somehow I am attacked by crazy internet trolls, then of course I can always stop. So that's that. Now let's just make sure all of the tasks I've written for myself are smart. Do they have a timeline? No. Let me add that in. Okay, first video going up on January 10th. Okay, I've made them more specific. I've added timelines for them. I've added how many times do I want to do some of these things. So with that, I've got a clear plan. These 5 frameworks really brought the clarity I need for 2024. I'm really excited for this. My direction for 2024 in my one word is really exciting. I won't reveal it. You can join the newsletter down below if you want to find out more about it. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.